Well, hello, I am Corvette Hop and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Today we're going to work on this 2014 Corvette. We're going to pull out the seats, the carpet, and install some sound dampening material. I hope you enjoy the video, and with that, keep those cars on the road.
Now, in order to put sound dampening material under the carpet, one of the first things we need to do is to remove both seats out of the car. In order to do that, I need to remove the nuts that hold it down on each seat. In fact, there are 4 nuts. To get at the front nuts, there are covers on both of them. Those will need to be removed. The nut covers are easy to get to. You just pop them right off. The right side nut cover comes off just as easy. Next, we'll use a 5/8 socket to remove the front 2 nuts. Go ahead and get this floor mat out of the way. And now onward to remove the other front nut. Clearly, I need to clean my carpet more often. And now I'm going to move the seat forward, and this will allow me to get at the 2 nuts in the back side of it. And you can see those right there. One there, 1, and then 2. I'll go ahead and remove those nuts also. I use an extension on my ratchet. Now, once I removed all 4 nuts on the driver's side, I moved over to the passenger side and repeated the same process. This next part is for those Corvettes with convertible tops only. Make sure the convertible top is up partially so you can remove the 2 plugs behind the cover. Go ahead and completely remove both of the panel plugs. Once both plugs have been removed, you can now lift up on the cover to remove it. This, of course, will expose the carpet, allowing for easy removal. Next, let's go ahead and remove the negative battery terminal from the battery using a 10mm socket. Now, the battery, of course, is located in the trunk area, right-hand side, under the floor matting. Once it is disconnected, remove the terminal out of the way so it doesn't accidentally touch the negative terminal by accident. This is extremely critical because your seats do have airbags. We don't want those exploding in our face as we're doing maintenance. Now, let's go ahead and remove the wire connector to the electric seats. Simply pull down on the gray tab as illustrated here and pull out on the connector. I will show you a closer view of that here in just a second. Now, this is a closer view of how to remove the connector by pushing down on the gray tab. Remember, you have one on both the driver's seat and the passenger seat. Once you disconnect the seat wiring harness, you'll need to note that the wiring harness is actually mounted to the frame with this fastener right here. So this will need to be pulled out before you can pull the seat out. Otherwise, you're going to try to pull the wiring harness out with the seat. If you are going to remove the seats entirely from the car, you you will need to remove the seat belts. I'm not going to do that for my application. I only need to remove the seat, put it to the side with the seat belt still attached. However, I am going to show you how to remove the seat belts. For this application, I got a plastic tool from Harbor Freight. I gently removed the seat belt plastic cover. Be careful because it can be broken very easily. Now go ahead and use a 1/4 socket or a 1/4 wrench to remove the nut. Once the nut is removed, go ahead and push inward on the actual seat belt, and that way it can be released from the seat belt fastener. Now it's time to remove the seat. Go ahead and grab a hold of the seat and lift carefully so that you don't do any damage or hit any trim that's around the door. Do the same for both the driver's and the passenger side seat. Again, remember, I did not remove the seat belts on both sides. I just simply set it aside. However, if those seat belts do need to be removed, I did demonstrate on how to do the process. And now the seats are removed. Go ahead and remove the door trim from both the driver's and the passenger side,
so that I can get to this piece of trim. And this one just pulls out right here, and then this way, and then out just like that. And you can see the clamps right here. We'll do both sides, driver's side and passenger side, and that way we can easily just get at the carpet just like that.
Small demonstration of removing the trim on the passenger side. Now with everything removed, I can go ahead and start removing the carpet. Note, I did go ahead and remove the trim on the center console. You can see me removing it right here. Simply just pops out. Do be careful removing this piece of trim because the front tab can easily be broken. Now go ahead and remove the bolts from both the driver's side and the passenger side. Door safety release levers. Once the bolts are removed, I simply feed the lever through the backside of the carpet. And we will leave the lever there with the cable attached. I will also feed the seat wiring harness to the backside of the carpet. And now we can go ahead and remove the carpet. The left footrest just pops right out, as you can see. The carpet did get hung up around the gas pedal and brake pedal, but once I broke that loose, and it was easy to pull out.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the protector around the metal pieces. I'm going to stay away from the wire connectors, just in case later on somebody has to do some work in those areas. The same with the back side, all on the front side. Stay away from all the wire connectors. I'm going to put a little bit up in the firewall area there, some here.
I went ahead and removed the remaining of the carpet off from the back side. I did notice how well it was insulated, so this dampening material is just going to make it better.
Once again, using a T27, we'll pop these two covers off.
Again, as mentioned earlier, go ahead and release that door safety release lever, pull those two bolts out, and then feed it through the carpet.
You know this is an insulation material right here. We're going to make it even better. We're going to go ahead and just vacuum everything out. And once we vacuum it, we're going to put some alcohol on it just to make sure that it has a good surface to stick to. I'm just going to rub everything down with alcohol just so I have a clean surface. As you can see, I made some cutaways right here. And that's the nice thing about this material is it's easy to cut and trim to size.
I use matte 66 material, 72 square feet. However, I think you can do the entire inside of the car with only 36 square feet. And of course, you can order the material off of Amazon. I really like the roller that I use. It's a Noico metal barrel roller. It was only $9.99. The dampening material was also about $100 for 72 square feet. I simply cut the material to fit, went around all screws and wires, so I had no wires actually covering under the matte material. I was surprised how easy the dampening material was to cut. I simply used a razor blade, but you could actually use a pair of scissors. I made the design and drawing out with a Sharpie so that I could easily see it. This is what the matte 66 sound dampening material looks like. I became a simple artiste with that Sharpie. Got pretty good at it.
You may have noticed that I went around the electrical wire channels here, and that's because if I ever have an electrical problem, then the electrician can easily get around it without any difficulty. Plus, the installation actually rides right on top of it, and it's channeled already for the electrical wires. This is what it looks like after it's all applied. I covered as much area as possible. You will notice that I did not cover any nuts or bolts, just in case mechanics had to get at it later.
Once all the material is installed, go ahead and install all the carpet, seats, and trim in reverse order. Of course, once the seats are in place and wire harness installed, go ahead and reconnect the battery. As mentioned before, we only used about a half a box of the sound dampening material, so you can really get by with 36 square feet, which will cost you about $50.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something. With that, keep those cars on the road.